I know everybody's watching this right now.
With baby formula at all?
We unfortunately are not. We have a benevolence program, but it is for our members.
It's just for the members, because
while some people may be a little upset with this and say that, hey, this is predatory, she's actually holding the church accountable to do what they were supposed to be doing in the first place. So in Matthew 25, Jesus is speaking to these people and he's like, listen, when I come back, there's going to be some things I'm requiring of you people, to the point where he's going to be separating the sheep from the goats. And it's crazy because one of the ways that Jesus is going to be separating who really walked with him and who didn't is by who fed his brothers and sisters. Jesus is so serious about feeding the needy that he calls them cursed. He's like, you cursed ones into eternal pit of fire. But listen to this verse here. He says, for I was hungry and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty and you didn't give me drink. I was a stranger and you didn't invite me into your home. I was naked and you didn't give me clothing. I was sick and in prison and you didn't invite me. He's serious about this. So feeding the hungry and helping the needy was not a small tenet within the faith of Christianity. It's everything. Jesus found that as a core tenet, as a core responsibility of the church, to be helping those who don't have, especially in a time like this. I'm not into the hypercritical aspects of how we deal with things in the world today, but as a believer and a minister in the church, I think this is important. But I want to do something here. I want to shout out the churches in a ministry that I know personally that have been feeding people since 1995. I want to give a personal shout out to Pastor Troy Brewer here, because for 30 years at Open Door Church, he has been feeding. He started a food pantry back in 1995, 30 years ago, and has never stopped it. The reason why this topic is dear to my heart is because nowadays, especially as somebody I have a degree in theology, I've preached and taught many churches. I've been in ministry for a long time. And one of my core issues, something that irks me, is the fact that is how people get into ministry. What I love about Troy Brewer is the fact that he didn't get into ministry because he was a good speaker. He didn't get in because he had a lot of followers. He started his ministry on the back of the food pantry. Because he started the food pantry, people were like, hey, man, like, we got to have some organization to this. You're feeding the whole city. You're feeding the whole county. So we got to have some sort of organization. And then from that, he was like, hey, I guess let's start a church. He didn't start a church because he thought it was cool. He didn't start a church because people started following him. He didn't start a church because he said, hey, you know what will be cool? Let's get everybody in a building and let's just do some cool stuff. Let's do some worship, which is nothing wrong with that. But his ministry started on the back of the service that God called him to.